Hello guys, welcome to Sarushi classes. So today we are going to learn NCERT Class 6 History, Chapter 6, that is Kingdoms, Kings and Early Republic. So you all must aware about Ashwamedha Yagya, right? So see here, you will see the horse is running. What is Ashwa? Ashwa is nothing but a Sanskrit word for horse. So you can see here the horse is running. So basically, what is this? Ashwamedha Yagya is nothing but a practice where the king used to send his horse and the horse used to run to a specified area. The area that the horse could cover would come under the territory of the king. However, if the horse was stopped by the other territory, the king would have to fight the war with that territory in order to occupy. But if the horse could transfer the boundary and could invade into next territory, that territory become the king's kept territory. So this was the practice that was prevalent to occupy the kingdom during that time. Raja was considered a powerful authority. Once he could cover the complete area, he was invited for various rituals where his wife, son, and charioteer who run the horse was invited. All the ordinary people, that is Jana or Vish, came to provide gifts to king. However, Shudras, that was the fourth Varna in Varna system, was eliminated during ceremonial processes. This was mainly done to show the power of king. So this was all about the Ashwamedha Yagya. So let us discuss about the Varna system. What is this Varna system about? So Varna system is basically there were times where the people were divided into different groups. So these groups were priests and warriors and farmers and herders and traders and craftspersons and laborers, fishing folks and forest people and so on. So some priests and warriors were rich persons, whereas some farmers and also some farmers and traders were also rich, whereas others including herders and craft persons and laborers and fishing folks and hunters and gatherers were poor. So the priest divided people into four groups and they called these groups as a varna. So this becomes the varna systems, and according to them each varna had a different set of function. And the first varna was that of Brahmin. So the Brahmin were expected to study and teach the Vedas. They involved in recitation of Vedas and they can perform sacrifices and receive gifts. So the in second place were the rulers. They were also known as Kshatriyas and they were expected to fight battles and protect peoples. They were the warriors. Then the third group was Vish or the Vaishyas. They were expected to be farmers or herders and traders, and both the Kshatriyas and Vaishyas could perform sacrifices. And the last, that is fourth Varna, was Shudra. These were the untouchables who had to serve the other three groups and could not perform any rituals. Often women were also grouped along with the Shudras, and both women and Shudras were not allowed to study the Vedas. The priest also said that these groups were decided on the basis of births. So if uh, a child is born in the Brahmin family, then that child will automatically become the Brahmin by birth. And if a child is born in Kshatriya family, then it automatically becomes the Kshatriya by birth, and so on. But what happened here? Some kings didn't accepted this. They were considered themselves superior to the rest. So here, as we have discussed, that priests were placed themselves as a superior, and then came Kshatriya, and then Vaishyas, and then Shudras. But some kings thought that they are the protectors of people and they fight the wars and they are powerful persons, so they did not accepted the supremacy of Brahmins and they considered themselves superior to the rest. So this was all about it. So the next is Janapadas. So what is this Janapadas? The name is itself indicate that Jana means people and Padas mean food. So these were basically the lands where the Jana set their foods. So here you will see the few sites like Purana Kila in Delhi, Hastinapur near Meerut in UP, and Atranji Khera near Eta in present day UP. These are the some of the places where the Janapadas were there. Then the next is Mahajanapadas. These were the basically these were the Janapadas who were given the more importance, where you will find these Janapadas were having the capital city, and this capital city was fortified, and the forts were probably built because people were afraid of attacks from the other kings and needed protection. So that was the reason behind the fortification, and these were done with the help of bricks, woods, and stone. And the next is new rajas. Here you will find the new rajas. They were different than the rajas we were discussed in earlier chapters. So these rajas had army, and they used to get the regular salary. So where they used to, these armies used to get the payment. They used to get the payment in the form of punch mark coin, and kings levied regular taxes on the crops and also on the trades and hunters and gatherers and craftsmen and herders. And on the crop, it was one-sixth of the total produce, and it is called as bhaga or share. So these uh, here farmers used to use the iron plowshare. Before this they used to use the wooden plowshare, but they come to know about the importance of iron plowshare, which gives the more production in the farming practices. So that's why they started using iron plowshare. So this was about it. And again, the transplanting paddy, they used to they used to uh, use transplanting paddy practices for the more production of crops. And slaves and dasis and landless laborers that are known as kamakaras were involved in these practices. So what is this transplanting paddy practices? These were basically, before these practices, people used to scatter the seeds and they used to grow the crops, but then after they used to systematically sowing those seeds. And with this, they came to know that they used to grow crops more, what we can say, they used to get more production by this practice. So that's why they started doing this. Then I'll show you some of the places in the map. You will find here Magadha, which was a big Mahajanpadas here, which is present day Bihar. And there are different places you will find there. Here is Vajji. Vajji is nothing but it is an it is not a particular kingdom, but basically different kingdoms came together. Different kings, thousands of came together, and this was formed, this Vajji dynasty was formed. And Mahavira and Buddhas were belong to this dynasty. Here you will find the Vaishali. Here you will find the Kosala. Hastinapura was here, Kuru. And here you will see Gandhara, which is in present day Pakistan. And this was all about it. So we will have a case study about Magadha. Magadha was a larger Mahajanpada, which was which was situated on the banks of Ganga and the Son, where the transport was done, and water supplies was very easy, and land around the area of Ganga and Son river were very fertile. And here in the forest, elephants were there, and wood was used for building the houses and chariots. And there were so many kings. Basically, Bimbisara and Ajatasattu and Mahapadmananda were the main kings which were ruled the Magadha. And capital of the Magadha was Rajagriha, which is present day Bihar. Let me show you the location. Yeah, here you will see the Magadha, and here you will see the Rajagriha. Then it was changed from Rajagriha, Bihar to the Pataliputra in Patna. So you all know about the Greece and Alexander. So Alexander didn't march further than Bias. Let me show you the location of Bias. Here you will find the location of Bias. So here is the Bias river, and here it is the northwest frontier of, and it is the India, land of India. And Alexander didn't march forward, so because his army was scared of the Indian rulers. Basically, his army was scared of Chandragupta Maurya, and that's why they didn't march further than Bias. So this was about it. So let me tell you something about the Vajji dynasty. The capital of Vajji was Vaishali, that is in present day Bihar, and these were nothing but the governments of Ganas and Sanghas. So the thousands of Rajas ruled together and they met in assemblies, but where women's dasas and kammakaras were not allowed in these assemblies. So Buddha and Mahavira were belonged to Vajji dynasty, and the powerful Rajas like Guptas and different kingdoms, sorry, even different kings tried to conquer these sanghas, and the last conquer this dynasty was lastly conquered by the Guptas. So this was all about this chapter. So with this we have come to an end with this chapter. If you like these videos, please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.